so many other institutions, the Fed has been undergoing a stress test. Congress wisely chose to insulate monetary policy decisions from political pressure. If any administration finds a way to remove Fed officials over policy differences, then future administrations will do so as well. The public would lose faith that the central bank will make decisions based only on what's best for all Americans. The Fed's credibility would be lost.
That's former Fed Chair Powell last night at the John F. Kennedy Presidential Library in Boston, making the case for Fed independence and warning against putting political pressure on Fed officials. At that event, he was honored with the JFK Profile and Courage Award. First public remarks, Jim, since ceding the chairmanship.
Very measured, just like you would expect. Not attack on the president as much as just a defense of an institution that he said that America believes in. And if they didn't, we could have a hard time not to say that. But we could understand that if we actually lose faith in the Fed, very bad news for our country. And I think the only way we would lose faith in the Fed is if the president had a very strong statement.
Let's get the opening bell here. Off the field on Wall Street, it's FedEx Freight celebrating its debut as a standalone public company. John Smith, incoming CEO, is going to be Jim's guest tonight. At the Nasdaq in Times Square, it's cloud-based enterprise software provider BlackLine, celebrating 25 years. NFC Boeing Chicago is its so how did it headline, Jim? Kind of through the future spoiler.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're always kind of hoping in the background that something good's going to happen. So you see a lot of these S&P names go down. I think this one seems to be more involved with Israeli incursion into Lebanon. I just think that the longer things don't get signed, the longer there is for things that just continue to unravel. We got to keep an eye on it at all times. Nothing's changed, other than the fact of buying opportunity.
Yeah, oil, Brent back to 90, almost 96, David. And we are, those comments last week at the Bernstein conference from the Exxon SVP and Mike Worth about what happens if this goes deep into June and do those buffers that kind of prevent it to spike to 200, do those eventually dry up?
El hielo se funde lento mientras un cuento va y va. Un buen cigarro deja su aroma en el viento. Mamá sentada en el porche y los niños corren contentos. La familia está en el patio, las sonrisas van brillando. La luna sobre la mesa y la noche va girando. Ron con hielo y un buen cigarro. Ron con hielo y un buen cigarro. Vino y whisky en la jarra hacia un lugar de paz. Brindamos. Ron con hielo y un buen cigarro. Ron con hielo y un buen cigarro. La familia ríe a mi lado hacia un lugar de paz. Brindamos. Ahí va el whisky y el vino de mano en mano pasando. Un trago para el tío que el dominó está planeando. La radio suena bajito, los platos limpios quedaron. Brindamos por los presentes que este momento crearon. Detrás de la contrapuerta se escucha a los primos llamar. Que sirvan una ronda más, la dicha no va a terminar. Ron con hielo y un buen cigarro. Ron con hielo. botella, que no se apague la risa, toda la sangre brillando bajo esta cálida brisa. Un trago por los mayores, otro por la juventud. Todos estamos unidos bajo la misma actitud. Ron con hielo y un buen cigarro. Ron con hielo y un buen cigarro. Vino y whisky en la jarra, hacia un lugar de paz brindamos. Ron con hielo y un buen cigarro. Ron con hielo y un buen cigarro. La familia ríe a mi lado, hacia un lugar de paz brindamos.
Look, I think people feel, wait a second, Micron was never too late. Sanders was never too late. Let's do it. Now, I wish that people.
cash on hand people, but it's a fairly large deal in terms of the existing debt and the equity value as well. And they also say they will actually bring in potentially other investors, both those who are already investors in MGM, I guess, who might roll, and new equity investors such that they will still own over 50% of the equity in the roll. And again, don't look at these names, they are making up the higher income. 48.30 I'm told, at least a couple of calls I had this morning. Not necessarily the price that a lot of shareholders love.
David, would Victoria be like 110 and be in charge of this whole thing?
That's a great point. He was in his 90s as well. Yeah, a young father at that point, an old father, I should say. But there's Barry. It's amazing. He's got a hats off. Again, there's going to be an argument that says this thing's being undervalued at 48.30. We'll see where they come to in terms of a real, special committee on the board. But that puts it in perspective. Following, of course, that Caesars deal, and there it is from the release that came out a short while ago, just talking about what they see as different growth opportunities and
Pack the
that's
map
something
with your
strengthening
name.
his conviction over time.
Folded in the
There you
glove
go.
box.
David, are you excited about Oracle? Because
gas station coffee gone cold, but I keep the car unlocked.
Price tag on it. I see you coming.
Your seat still leans to
Yeah,
the
we've got
left,
to do that. I'm trying to see here through the.
like you just stepped out for air.
Oh, there.
I
It's the
turn the
high of the
key,
year.
hear the
So was Friday.
Yeah.
But that's
and I drive because you're there.
Making money. Compute making money.
Past the wheat
Didn't know David's gonna be there.
and the scrapyard,
This is the kind of
past the town with no
say
one
fine,
away.
Dale, that's of no use. But if someone were to come
Every turn says maybe, every mile says
70
stay.
as a good call, I think.
Take me down the loop road,
I think it's great that you're there.
take me down
We
again.
expect that we're gonna make money on everything we do.
Round and round, I know.
Stuff is being built. And
I
know
don't
there's
want
been
this
some
drive to
conversation
end. Take
I'm
me
looking at
down the loop
it.
road. Keep my hands on
There's no doubt about that.
round and round, I know.
Of course, we did speak.
I'll
last
be
time we
back where I
took the job
began. Back where I
in
began.
Las Vegas, but so many different things to discuss as you take a look at this. 250 acres of development. What will be developed?
I see the bridge by the river where the trucks shake in the
it is
wind.
interesting. I mean, it doesn't really get captured in the macro
Your
data
laugh
because of
in
the
the
way
rear view,
manufacturing construction
like
is
it
measured. A lot of the
might
money is
come back
inside the building
again.
as opposed to the actual.
I passed the sign for the diner with the blue chair out front. Same cracked cup, same loose screen, same old wants I've got. Past the wheat and the scrapyard, past the town with no one away. Every turn says maybe, every mile says stay. Take me down the loop road, take me down again.
You mentioned SoftBank earlier.
Round and round, I know.
Biggest AI facility in France.
I don't want this drive to end. Take me down the loop road. Keep my hands on 10. Round and round, I know. I'll be back where I began. Back where I began.
The chip designer, you see that with its massive bet on OpenAI, which is a core feature of Masayoshi-san's vision for the future as well. But of course, we've had this huge run-up in valuations with regard to stock price in the public market and private markets as well. So we'll talk a little bit about where we are in this investment cycle right now. Masayoshi-san saying that he sees this as a 50 to 100-year journey around this AI story. He says we're just at the beginning.
If I stop, it gets quiet.
In terms of the dot-com
If
boom,
I
in terms
stop,
of
I
where this
hear
has to
the
run. But
A.
given the valuation run-up we've seen,
So I let the dog keep rolling, let the tires do the brake. Take me down the loop road, take me down again. Round and round, I know. I don't want this drive to end. Take me down the loop road. Keep my hands on 10. Round and round, I know. I'll be back where I began. Back where I began.
If there is any connection.
Okay, I'm done for the day.
Look, he's
made,
ultimately bullish here around this broader
$2,008.
story, and we know Masayoshi-san has a history
That's
of
enough.
making some very bold bets. You think back to Alibaba, which really was his big claim to fame. He also made some pretty bad bets around
Gold
WeWork,
was,
but clearly the
gold
big
was
focus is on OpenAI and this broader AI story.
2000.
And investors are backing this story right now. You look at SoftBank's share price
Simply
over the
by,
last year, it's up around 360% or so.
trading,
There was an interesting part of the interview where I asked him about
Micron
a phrase
and
called
Dell.
artificial
Missed the Dell mood.
He described that as
Did
AI
not have Dell on the chart. I had Palantir. Palantir didn't do much. Switched to Dell and saw that big move. Wow, missed it. I heard a little dip, a little red candle, and popped back up. 461. And right now it's trading between
75 billion euros. I asked them, why don't you have to sell down some more of your companies that you're invested in order to fund it? It's like, no, we can fund this, we can project finance it. So it doesn't sound like there's any kind of view at this point to sell down any more, including ARM.
Remarkable. And then the memory story, Jim, continues. Micron 1029 this morning.
Look, I think that people underestimated the shortage. It's just going on and on. And there's one of the things that you have to hope for is that the Korean stuff are still at Singapore. SK minus it seems that that could somehow expand because we're just way out of the short. Remember, the compute is what Jensen's talking about. And compute equals money. Now on that whole idea is the bubble, they're not going to get their return. That ended with so many. That ended right now with Jensen. If I hear bubble, the bubble, the bubble, I'm going to bring them some bubble. Because what you do is prove that the bubble is much bigger than $7.
You admit, I mean, levered ETFs of single stocks, the SK Hynix, I mean, that points to speculative enthusiasm.
On those are, there's, I think the FCC is really trying hard to put an end to that. I think that, frankly, when I look at this and saw what they were like, oh, this is far more rigorous than those ridiculous, stupid things that we have. Those and the imbalances, the rebalancing are going to have to be addressed by someone, maybe an ex officio new group that starts, because the SEC and the CFTC, they can't do it. You just need maybe a group of really smart people to get
Yeah,
it.
you wrote about that over the weekend. We got ISM due at the top of the hour, but first some PMIs. Let's get to Rick Santelli. Hey, Rick.
The chalk dust sleeps in the air. One blue chair leaned back like it cares. My name tag hangs by a thread, and the goldfish posters half dead. A paper plane under the fan still says your name in crayon hand. The clock ticks loud in its frame, like it forgot how to behave. I sit where the rows all bend, counting cracks in the linoleum. Your last laugh still on the wall, like a thumbprint after the fall. Empty classroom, don't move. Empty classroom, I keep hearing you in the hush, in the blue. Empty classroom, stay. Empty classroom, wait. If I say your name in the room, say it too. The globe spins slow on its base, skipping names and missing days. A binder droops from the shelf, like it gave up on itself. There's gum on the desk by the door, and a bent ruler on the floor. I trace the groove of your chair, like you might still be there. I sit where the rows all bend, counting cracks in the linoleum. last laugh still on the wall, like a thumbprint after the fall. Empty classroom, don't move, empty classroom. I keep hearing you in the hush, in the blue. Empty classroom, stay, empty classroom. Wait, if I say your name, then the room say it too. Tap, tap on the desktop. 3 knocks, then I stop. The windows hold the day like it doesn't wanna say. And when the lockers slam in my head like cymbals land, I smile at the empty rows, 'cause they know what nobody knows. Empty classroom, don't move, empty classroom. I keep hearing you in the hush, in the blue. Empty classroom, stay, empty classroom. Wait, if I say your name, does the room say it too?
There's another look at Taylor Morrison. Rare deal in the housing space as Berkshire buys it for $6.8 billion, $72.50 in cash. Greg Abel's first big deal. We're going to talk to Cheryl Palmer in the 10 a.m. hour this morning. All that said, Jim, Berkshire still holds about a third of its